Self mastery. What is it? Have you ever asked yourself some tough questions? Like, what is self mastery? What does it mean? What does it entail to get to the next level? What does it mean when we talk about our higher self, when we talk about higher states of consciousness, when we talk about awareness, when we talk about energy, when we talk about metaphysics and science, and when we speak about, being successful, when we think about living our dreams, whatever you can imagine. If you've ever asked yourself questions like that, and perhaps, why do I keep doing the same things? Why do I keep attracting the same people, place, and things? I guarantee you that until you have a grips and a better understanding on what self mastery is, and this is why we decided to make this first episode and talk a little bit about self mastery, because until you understand this, and until you apply the principles and practices that you learn, the life that you desire to live is going to it's going to seemingly get further and further and further away from you, as well as the lessons that you're supposed to learn. So we're going to go over some foundational things, right? Because sometimes many of us, we just want to, pop our life in a microwave like we a bag of popcorn, and just like, hey, couple of seconds, I hear the pops, and we not done. Like, our life is not a bag of popcorn. Our life is not pizza, right? We have to understand what self-mastery is. And first, let's talk about what understanding is. Understanding, right? And remember, everything is frequency, everything is energy. And so everything that you say also matters, right? And so when I was quote unquote immature, when I started out in my journey, I started to realize, well, when I was advanced, once I started growing, reverse that in my journey, I started to realize that there was a difference between understanding something and understanding something, right? As well as understanding, right? And so understanding is about having a deep intuitive knowing of ourselves and others, as well as our experiences. Why is this so important? When it comes down to attracting what and who you desire, creating the life that you want, forging healthy relationships, when you do not understand who you are, which is going to come from you remembering who you are, not just you in the flesh. Like, a lot of us just think that we are the names with Bleak, with Venus, with Quiet Storm, where all of these different names, right? And we're all of these different accolades, and we're all of these different degrees, and we're everything else physical. But until you understand who you are internally, you won't really get a grasp or deep understanding about pretty much everything in your life. And so comprehension of one's triune essence is important. What do I mean by triune essence? We are part mental, part soul, spirit, and part physical. And self mastery is about awareness, intelligence, knowledge, information, wisdom, and discipline. Hence, this is why many of us are not really gaining the fundamentals, right? And the catalyst of why, right? I'm always talking about the why we keep doing the things that we're doing. And then we're having the same conversations over and over and over again. But as soon as somebody calls us insane, we ready to beat them up like they stole our bike, when all they're really doing is telling the truth. Isn't that the distant? I mean, let me know, Bleak. Isn't doing something over and over and over again the definition of insanity?
Oh yes, for sure. And that's the thing. A lot of people get caught in this I guess this treadmill of life, so to speak. And it's like you just kind of running on autopilot. And I'm gonna get into a little bit more of that, down the road a little bit in this
Yes.
yeah, so yeah. But I agree with
Yes.
you 100%.
Yeah, that's what it's about, the awareness. And we're arguing. I said this in a previous live I was in. Like, we had a conversation over and over, Bleak, as well as the family that's with us. We hear the going back and forth. We hear about who's right and who's wrong. We hear about who's supposed to be in leadership, man or woman. We're hearing about and talking about religion and all of the land and politics and government and all of these different things. And you know what the deeper root is? While we keep repetitively running on this hamster wheel going nowhere, we still lack understanding.
Absolutely.
And we're unknowingly, submitting our minds, our bodies, our souls, our divine frequency to continually be ciphered out. And then we wondering why we're so destructive right now. We're wondering why the quote unquote the world seems to be in chaos, which is not true, right? We don't understand a lot of things regarding self-mastery. We don't understand language syntax. Like what most of us are literally cursing our very lives, our very children lives, the people who you love. You are literally cursing your reality, hexing your reality, putting spells on your reality, and you don't understand what you're doing. However, I'm I'm so adamant and passionate about teaching self-mastery because whether you know it or not, no one can violate the law called correspondence and attraction, the law of cause and effect. You're going to get exactly what you give.
Exactly. It's still going to happen regardless if you are aware of it or not. And